They say a beastly creature haunts the world of Hyrule. A wicked monster, a creature of evil, constructed by Ganon himself for the purpose of destroying all who stand in its way. Its sickly coloured skin is able to scare the soul from your body. It sits perched on higher ground watching with its wicked bright white eyes, and all who see it never live to tell the tale. Zelda games in general usually have creepy things or creepy places, such as a disturbing pale Gibdo circling the music box house in Majora's Mask, or the bottom of the well in Ocarina of Time that's home to the eerie looking creature known as Dead Hand. You really don't have to look too hard to find unusual or disturbing things in Zelda titles. But Breath of the Wild took a much more calming and relaxing approach with its world design and overall atmosphere, and although the majority of the game is peaceful to play, there are some bone-chilling places and things in the huge world if you know where to look. And no, I'm not talking about Kilton, although let's be honest, he is kinda creepy looking. If it wasn't for the fact that he is just a short, odd, highly obsessed with monsters, he could actually be a factor in this video. But soz kilts, you haven't achieved your dream of being a real monster. So in today's video, I want to cover some of the more creepy, unsettling things and places in Breath of the Wild. Breath of the Wild is packed with settlements, old ruins, and notably statues. Ancient statues of the goddess Hylia can be found in some of the most populated areas of Hyrule, as well as some of the most religious areas, like the Temple of Time or Goddess Springs. Some of these statues are very large, even dwarfing our hero Link, and they are usually situated in peaceful places aging with the surrounding foliage. But just outside the peaceful, lively Hateno village rests a demonic looking statue called the Horned Statue. While some mistake the statue for a goddess statue, it's clear that the intentions of the Horned Statue are for its own personal greed. A dealer who once traded the life of mortals for rupees. This did not sit well with the goddess Hylia, who trapped the dealer within the statue long ago as punishment. The drooping eyes and horns combined with the purple mist are clear signs of a devilish dealer. The fact that this strange dealer once traded the souls of people for money is creepy on its own, but with the way it speaks and looks, it's truly malevolent. The empty wilderness of Hyrule really is a magical and exciting place. You never truly know what you'll find when exploring. I still remember the first time I found a great fairy fountain. The fairy was cased inside a green spiky capsule, powerless due to the lack of ruby offerings. While fairies are known for being peaceful, glamorous and powerful beings, one fairy fountain in Hyrule contains a much more sinister looking being. Just south of Highland Stable, there is a place called Melania Spring. Here lies what looks to be a great fairy fountain, but if the required rupees are offered, you will soon realise that this fountain does not contain your usual fairy. His name is Melania, the horse god. With his powers, he is able to revive fallen horse companions. His oddly creepy appearance and volatile personality is what makes this guy so creepy. His body parts float while being separated from one another. His twitching body and tribal horse mask are terrifying enough, but the way he falls into the fountain like a puppet with cut strings is sickening. But why does a being like this exist in the world? Why does a god with such power care so much about the lives of horses? And who gave Melania this magical power to bring back lost companions? A place shrouded in pure darkness for reasons unknown. A dark, desolate forest surrounded by a murky lake, rich in foliage and dangerous bogs. A place so dark that even sunlight cannot break through. This is Typhlo Ruins. The only way to navigate through this pitch black terrain is with torches, And even with the light from torches, it is still very dark and challenging to explore. This is one of the only places in the game where I actually feel separated from Hyrule. It truly is a horrible, lonely experience not being able to see more than a few feet in front of Link. Ancient pillars and structures associated with the mysterious Zonai tribe add to the mystery of this pitch black ruin. Deadly creatures creep in the darkness, and even a deadly Hinox rests in the black shrouded forest. Nobody can explain the reason behind the thick fog, but if one is persistent enough, they will soon discover a hidden Sheikah shrine. West of Death Mountain, north of Hyrule Castle, rests another strange place similar to Typhlo Ruins, a place shrouded in fog surrounded by a lake. A rich woodland forest that serves as a maze and entrance to Korok Forest. Navigating the maze for most would eventually lead to them becoming lost and returning to the entrance. In previous games, however, if one were to become lost in the woods, they would turn into a monster, such as a Skull Kid, Stalfos, or Deku Scrub. While actually reaching Korok Forest, home to the Master Sword, isn't necessarily scary, the journey through the dark cold woods is. The chilling music followed by the twisted trees that resemble hands with claws are terrifying. The foggy silent woods is by far one of the creepiest places you can find in Hyrule. Hyrule Castle is an epic huge monstrosity of a fortress. Unlike other Zelda games before Breath of the Wild, this version of Hyrule Castle can be completely explored, inside and out. Just trying to enter into the fortified castle is a tricky challenge, with guardian stalkers, skywatchers and turrets guarding the entrances. But navigating your way through the depths of the castle is where the fun really begins. Turning each corner is an unsettling experience, as you know that anything could be waiting for you. With the epic music and poisonous substance known as malice, this place really does give you an eerie feeling. The most evil being responsible for everything that has happened in Hyrule resides in this once beautiful castle. As you explore room after room, you can see the chaos of Calamity Ganon and his minions. If like me you spend hours just exploring Hyrule trying to find anything and everything, it won't take you long before you discover one of the 3 behemoth labyrinths in the game. The first and most obvious one is located in the Akala region just out in the sea. It is known as Lome Labyrinth Island. The second is in the Heba region just north of Tabantha Tundra and is known as North Lome Labyrinth. And the third and final labyrinth is known as South Lome Labyrinth, located in the Gerudo Desert. These giant ancient mazes are intimidating to look at, although not as visually frightening as, say, the Shadow Temple in Ocarina of Time. They do ooze with a somewhat creepy ambience. Just looking at these huge constructs from the outside will give you an unsettling feeling. Their lonely location combined with their tribal design are a dominant factor, but actually entering one is a completely different story. At first they seem an easy challenge, but before long you will notice that these mazes are just as big on the inside as they are on the outside. They are filled with various roadblocks and threats, from guardian stalkers and skywatchers to ambush and keys. And even the corruption of Ganon sleeps within these eerie structures. If you have attempted to navigate around one of these giant landmarks, then you have probably felt the unsettling feeling of being in the unknown. Little is known of the mysterious labyrinths, like who created them or why were they created, and who or what is Lome. If blood moons, ancient fairy god things, creepy statues, or even stumpy Hylians spying on nearby towns isn't enough to convince you, then I have one last thing up my sleeve. Worse than Dead Hand, worse than Stau Children, and even worse than Gibdos. Meet Magda, aka the Flower Lady. If like me you stumbled across a shrine surrounded with lovely flowers and a lovely lady by a tree that tells you not to step on the flowers, then you do your best to watch the flowers, right? I mean, you wouldn't really hurt innocent flowers, especially after the lady asked so nicely. Well, yeah, I kinda did stomp her flowers so bad she made me reset the tiny flower maze puzzle, which made me mad and resulted in me stomping her flowers again, which made her mad, and which made me more mad, so I stomped her stupid flowers proper dead. But what happened next was truly terrifying. Thanks for watching everyone. If you enjoyed the video and would like to see more content like this, then be sure to like the video and subscribe to the channel. Also be sure to follow me on Twitter, and why not join our Discord server? Both links will be in the description below. A huge thank you to Hazel, Some Guy and Jessipe for supporting me on Patreon. I really do appreciate it, and if anyone else would like to support me and receive exclusive rewards, then you'll find my Patreon link in the description below. As always, cheers for watching, and I'll catch you next time.